Thank you. Jack has indicated I got to cut it short, so I only have 20 pages here. But I grew up watching fights on TV during a great era in the 60s and 70s. One fight that sticks out in my mind was the Muhammad Ali and Jimmy Young fight. When I watched that fight, I thought Jimmy Young won the fight. And I remember asking my uncle, did you think Young won that fight? He said, no. In order to be a champion, you got to knock out the champion. You can't just win on a decision. And for the most part, that was an unwritten rule in boxing. Until April 6, 1987, when Marvin Hagler lost a close decision against Sugar Ray Leonard. It's changed the sport of boxing to this day. I started out covering fights for websites. From there, I got into promoting fights, managing fighters, and before long, I made a living out of it, and I loved it. True, I did lose my life savings a couple of times with boxing, but like most people who get bitten by the boxing bug, and most people here could agree with me, it's something that doesn't matter whether you have your ups or downs, and it's something that never leaves. I kept moving forward, and thanks to boxing, I did get to travel around, been to Europe several times, etc. But the biggest thing that I will always remember are the great people that I got to meet with the sport of boxing. I had several fighters I worked with over the years. Chevelle Halbach, together we won several world titles together. In 2003, my brother convinced me, after all the beatings I was taking from promotion and everything else, my brother convinced me to open up a gym, which I did not really want to do, but he talked me into it, and we opened up a gym in Poughkeepsie, New York. As is the case with most gyms, it's hard to get people to come into a strictly boxing gym. So we were coming up with ideas of how to promote the gym, and that's when the infamous Jeremy C., my cousin, came up with the idea of the show, the Talking Boxing with Billy C. show. I thought maybe doing a live show out of the gym would entice people to join the gym. That didn't work, but the show did get picked up after our pilot. And as Bob mentioned, we did very well. We ended up on over 30 channels, AM and FM throughout the United States and Canada, on several TV stations, and we had over 250,000 podcast subscribers. I had a co-host who passed away from cancer, and it kind of diminished the show a little bit. I took a year off, and to be honest with you, it's never gotten back to that level. But then again, the fans have changed, and I think that was one of the things that has bothered me the most. It seemed like a lot of young fans today are only concerned with what's happening today, and I feel that boxing, unlike any other sport, fans need to understand the history of the sport, and they need to understand about all the fighters that came before them and the path that they made and opened up all the doors that the fighters of today are walking through and enjoying. And I found I took it personal that a lot of the younger fans were not receptive to that. That was another reason for me. It was summed up really when I was writing my book and I was promoting it on the show. Now, for those of you that have never heard of Tom Molyneux, he fought for the title in 1810. Keep that date in mind, because I had a listener email me and was asking me if I could send him any links of YouTube videos of him fighting. I couldn't, explain to this guy that they didn't have cameras in 1810, let alone but nonetheless, it was a great run, and we still do the show, and we enjoy it. I want to thank everybody from the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame who have given me this honor, and joining the rest of the greats here for the 2024. I'll never forget in the inaugural year 2012 when a friend of mine and I'm sure you've all heard of Harold Letterman, had called me and was so excited to be inducted into the New York State Boxing Hall of Fame. He actually sent me the poster that's in my office right now. So I just want to thank, first and foremost, all the listeners and viewers that have supported us over the years. We're in our 21st year, actually. And then, of course, Alice Perpally, Dax Khan, Scotty Krause, Dave Wilcox, Emily Marnie, Larry Hazard, John Moskunis, Kenny Roberts, Carl King, and the infamous Jeremy C., as well as some of my good friends who are involved in boxing, who are no longer with us, Johnny Boz, Ernie Shavers, and the other Billy C., Billy Costello. And last but not least, a man who was like a brother to me, and he was my co-host, and after we lost him, it was very difficult to do the show, and that's the late, great Rocky, Sal Rocky Senicola. And I want to thank everybody on the board for giving me this opportunity, and that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Billy. Randy.